Before exploring creative problem solving, it is essential to define creativity itself. According to Tony Proctor, it involves the ability to come up with new and different viewpoints on a subject. This means to break down and reconstruct our knowledge of the matter and develop it towards different aspects. This is the process that is taken to creatively solve a problem. Proctor also states that the creative problem solving process is split into 6 stages, which are objective finding, fact finding, problem finding, idea finding, solution finding, and acceptance finding. The stages can be grouped into 3 themes, which are exploring the challenge, generating ideas, and taking action. To demonstrate the CPS process, I will use a problem of my own that I am yet to solve, which is figuring out whether work placement is good for my career or not. Currently, I am studying business studies at Birmingham City University, and after my studies, I would like to be a professional artist and sell my artwork as a business venture. When applying for the 4-year sandwich course, I thought I could take the 3rd year off to start my business, so by the time I graduated, I wouldn't have to be worrying about looking for employment. However, the university had other ideas. During the latter stages of my 1st year of business studies, I was told that we would have to apply for an undergraduate placement, which would take place during the 3rd year. Despite being told the experience would be enriching and desirable for future employment, I wasn't happy about the prospects at all. To be honest, at the time I thought we were being forced to take a placement, and I believe this would disrupt my chances of developing my business while studying. After identifying my problem, I instantly mind mapped all of my wants and needs between now and graduation, which included gaining a first in my business studies degree and establishing my business. Drawing up a list of my needs and wants would lead into a number of ideas being generated. These ideas would help to solve my problem and simultaneously fit my needs. The possible solutions I came up with include taking a year out from my studies and starting up my business during that year, finding a placement that is related to the industry I want to be involved in this case art, or look for a short-term placement, then using the remaining time of the year to establish my business. From here, I considered the positives and negatives of each potential solution. If I was going to interrupt my studies and use the year to establish my business, it may result in the inability to apply for a student loan, which I will need next year to cover my accommodation finances. However, if the business was successful throughout the year and generated a good profit, I may be able to cover the cost of living. To reconsider the idea of a work placement, it would have to be within the art industry. There would be many positives that I could take whilst on a placement in the art industry, which include developing a network of contacts that would come useful when developing my business. Additionally, I may have an understanding of how a business of my venture should operate. Finally, whilst considering doing both a short-term placement and developing my business idea afterwards, I wondered whether it was likely or not that there will be a short-term placement in the art industry. I was aware it took a lot of time and demand to complete our work, so maybe a short-term placement wouldn't be an option. However, the possibility of doing a placement and my business afterwards would definitely be beneficial. To build up on the ideas generated, I would have to consider a course of action that would lead towards my problem being solved, making a list of the things that need to be done, then organising a timetable to ensure each task is carried out. Upon taking action from here, I will be able to creatively solve my problem.